face of very long hours, diminished resources, and death after death.
I don't know how to do it.
Megan stayed on to help her patients. Her dedication saved countless lives and also comforted those who were losing their battle with the disease. Thank you, Megan. Let's give Megan a round of applause. Now we're going to talk about Megan's dad. You'll find it interesting to know that Sean Cochran is a son of New Mexico.
Woo!
He grew up here, went to high school in Las Lunas, and attended Eastern New Mexico University in Portales. That may sound familiar because that's where the kids who just performed before you came from. This award, the NASME Lifetime Achievement Award, is given extremely rarely. In my years of work for NASME, I can remember barely a handful of others who received this recognition. So why does Sean Cochran deserve this award? In part because of his many years of very hard work on behalf of migratory students and families in his now home state of Missouri. Sean has dedicated his career to the support of educational programs for migratory students. He has been a very strong advocate for the Title I Part C migrant education program and has been an extremely hard-working member of the NASME Executive Board. He has spent literally thousands of hours in support of this organization. Sean served on the NASME board from 2004 to his retirement as the Missouri State Director this year, a total of 19 years. He has served as NASME Vice President, 2 terms as NASME President, Central Stream Representatives for a total of 7 years, and then elected and re-elected as Secretary Treasurer for 7 years, from 2016 to 2023. He served on the National Conference Planning Committee for many years and led the planning for the conference when it was in St. Louis. I personally had the pleasure of working directly with Sean most closely when he was Secretary Treasurer. He is a man of total integrity. He was scrupulously honest, dependable, loyal, transparent in all the financial decisions made, hardworking, and very easy to work with, all qualities which are not so easy to find. Sean wore a lot of hats at his agency, but the following quote from after his retirement stands out, and I quote, "During my career, I, like almost all other state directors, had to wear many hats within my agency. Title III, McKinney-Vento Homeless, the contact for foster care and administering the state refugee program. But I always refer to myself as the state migrant director. The work I did for migrant families in Missouri will always have a special place in my heart," unquote. Well, Sean, I can speak for all of your colleagues in NASME and in this audience. You will always have a special place in our hearts. Congratulations. And I'd like to present you with a little token of our appreciation and all the hard work that you did through all of the years.
A lot of you remember I got to go up on stage quite a number of times at previous NASME conferences, and I always kind of was the last choice. I don't think Roger ever really felt comfortable with me getting up in front of the microphone and saying something. I especially got it last year in San Antonio when I had him stick around and I did a big thank you to him and things like that. I hadn't told him at that point I was retiring yet, so I was a little surprised when he called me to tell me about this, that he welcomed me back, but I appreciate it. Thank you to all the NASME directors, the state directors out there. As Roger said, and you can tell, I've been around a while. I can remember the first state directors meeting I went to. I had the enormous luck and privilege. I sat down at a table with Raul De La Rosa and Al Wright. My first big meeting, and they were very influential. if you weren't around when those guys were state directors, I want you to try to do some research, but they were great. They were great influences on me, and there's been a lot of other state directors that I've turned to over the years that helped me out. That's been the best thing about being part of NASME is the camaraderie we had between each other, the things we could share. Every time there was an issue in our state, it was really unique to the people in our state, but it wasn't unique to the other state directors. They had probably dealt with it or had the same similar situation. So the other state directors were really the only people we could reach out to. So I want to thank all the state directors here. There's a couple in particular, especially one, Angela Bronspal, sitting down here. She was another one at my very first meeting I went to. She was the vice president of NASME at the time. I was very impressed by the way Angela came out and the passion that she had for this program and the passion she still has for this program. And I gave her a hard time over the years, Angela. Well, no, I don't. It was fun. It was fun. But we got along great. So if you're a state director out there, if you become a state director, please reach out to the other people, the other state directors that you know, because they are a wealth of information. And once again, I thank you all for this award. I'm just going to stop with a little story here, if you don't mind. Okay? I heard a story once about a guy was walking down the street one day, and he comes upon a construction site, right? And he sees a big pile of bricks, and there's concrete, there's lines that are strung out, and a guy's working there, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the guy looks at him and says, "I'm laying bricks." Okay, great. So he goes and walks around the other side of the construction site. There's another big pile of bricks, and there's mortar, and the string's all straight, and he says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he says, "I'm building a cathedral." And the perception is what matters in that situation, right? And I know there are times when the bricks are going to be really heavy as we do our job, and the string's not always all that straight, and the concrete's not pliable. But remember what we're doing here, right? We are building those cathedrals, and a little later on, when we get to see the scholarship presentations, you're going to see what those cathedrals are really like. So just thank you again. Have a great conference. Thanks, man.
I think you should stand up here.